Chapter 12, Enemy Camp. You've just woken up in the middle of the night to find Gabe and Cass alert to the sound of distant voices. You all scramble out of the tent. Gabe and Cass's silver eyes glint as they go completely still, listening. The enemy's camp. Alright. It sounds big. I'd say it's about a couple miles away. So, let's go spy on them. This is exactly the chance we were hoping for, right? The only problem is if we try to sneak up on them, they'd smell you from a mile away, new girl. Why just me? Human blood smells different from vampire blood. They'd be able to pick you out of the difference in a heartbeat. What? Why didn't you tell me that before? How are we supposed to learn anything about our enemies if I make it impossible to get closer to them? Gabe and Cass share a look, and you get the distinct sense that they've discussed this very topic before. The pulse points in your neck and wrists emanate the strongest smell. But smearing a little vampire blood over those points should mask the smell. At least enough that we can get close. I have to smear vampire blood on myself. And give me some blood. We don't have any time to waste. Lucky for you, you got a willing vampire right here. I was gonna offer Parker my blood. You were too slow. Shame. Cass steps towards you, but Gabe catches her arm. I think Parker should get to make this decision. Does it matter? Their attention turns toward you and you swallow. I'll take some blood from... She volunteered first, finders keepers. Gabe lets go of Cass like she's burning him, and Cass tosses him a smirk as she passes him by. You got it. Swiveling her gaze to you, she lifts her wrist to her lips and bites down, breaking the skin. Crimson blood pools out of the puncture wounds. She quirks an eyebrow at you, wiping the stray blood from her lips from the back of her, with the back of her hand before raising her bleeding wrist. You ready? Go for it. She steps in close, taking your hand in a surprisingly gentle grip. She rubs her wrist against your left, then your right, and you're vividly aware of the slick heat of her blood cooling against your skin. Just a couple more. Her eyes trail up your body slowly before coming to a stop at your neck. With one hand, she takes your chin, tilting your head to the side. With the other, she's reaching for your pulse point, but not with her wrist. Instead, she presses her thumb against the spot, feeling your heartbeat, which instantly speeds up. You glance her way and barely stop a gasp as her eyes flick up to meet yours. A smirk tugs at her lips. Just wanted to get your pulse going. See if we can make this as efficient as possible. Well, it's working. With a twist of her hand, Cass dabs her wrist against the spot, then moves to the other side. The metallic smell hits your nose, making your pulse race even faster. Wordlessly, she trails her hand down your neck to your shoulder, letting her touch linger before dropping her hands. There, now you smell as great as I do. Thanks. You steal a glance over to Gabe, who stares coolly at Cass's back. Yep, cool. But when his gaze meets yours, his expression deepens in a concern you're used to seeing. You know, you'd be even better protected if you drank some vampire blood. What? Whoa, you're suggesting we break a huge coven rule? Who are you? What have you done with the real Adard? Gabe heaves an annoyed sigh before ignoring Cass completely. What matters is keeping you safe. The rules be damned, and there's no denying having some vampire blood in your system would do that. When a human drinks vampire blood, they temporarily receive enhanced abilities and vampire-level senses. Way to be the master of the obvious, Golden Boy. I already made sure Parker knew that a long time ago. Her eyes flit to yours, her smirk making your heart skip a beat. And it turns out she's got a taste for it, considering she's drunk my blood twice. A dark emotion flashes across his face, and he closes his eyes and takes a deep breath before turning to you. The point is, if you drink some vampire blood, you'll have the heightened senses to help you out if you run into any trouble. I want you as safe as possible, so the offer stands. From both of us. You look between the two of them. Cass's blood still dripping down her wrist. Gabe offering to bleed for you as well. So many things could go south when spying on a camp of vampires. Drinking some vampire blood would definitely boost my chances. Diamond choice. I'm ready for this. Drink the vampire blood. Oh, we don't get a choice. It's just gonna be both? Okay. That's what I like to hear. But whose blood do you want, Parker? You probably handle a mouthful at most. You look between them again, feeling like your decision extends far beyond just drinking blood. You know what? I haven't drank yours. Let's go. She lets out a scoff and turns on her heel, while Gabe holds your gaze with a solemn nod. I'll take good care of you, I promise. He raises a wrist to his mouth, wincing a little as his fangs sink in. Then he steps closer, extending his bleeding wrist towards you. Just be careful. You're the one who should be careful. What if I get a taste for this? His smile is only half-hearted, and your own drops away as you take his arm, reality settling in. I'm really gonna drink his blood. With his gaze searing into you, you lean in, place your mouth against the open wound, warm blood immediately coating your lips. He jolts as your lips touch his skin, and as soon as you take a pull from his blood, you jolt as well at the thick metallic taste. It's so strong. Careful. But, despite his words, when you raise your eyes to meet his pupils are dilated and his cheeks are flushed, his throat bobbing as he swallows. As you suck more blood into your mouth, the sensation of it washes over you, warming you, making your heart race. I'm gonna keep drinking. You tighten your grip on his arm, sucking at his wrist, lapping your tongue against the fresh blood. You don't know what's happening, why your body feels so feverish, or the blood in your mouth suddenly tastes so sweet. Is this what vampires feel when they drink blood? Parker. His voice is a gentle reminder that the ravenous feeling coursing through you is the onset of a storm your body can't handle, and you suddenly pull away with a gasp. You swipe your tongue across your lips, once again aware of the metallic taste of blood. His hand lands gently on your cheek, guiding your eyes to his. How do you feel? His gentle tone and the concern on his face ground you, and for a moment you get lost staring into his eyes. The moment feels intimate, like the two of you have a bond no one else can understand, even though you've done this with Cass. You relax into him and the world around you starts to lose focus. I feel fine, I think. But your head suddenly starts spinning with vertigo, the power of the blood you drank roaring through your veins like a fire. Your vision tilts, but suddenly there's a strong arm around your back. Your eyesight clears and you find Gabe's face inches from yours. Hey, I got you. Thanks. Your blood really packs a punch. His eyes flick down to your mouth, where you still feel his blood coating your lips. You realize the vampire powers have kicked in when you hear his heartbeat skip a beat. Then you're suddenly hyper-aware of how close your mouth is to his. I'm gonna kiss him. Without thinking, you run your fingers through his hair, the nape of his neck, raveling in how soft the strands feel against your fingers. His eyes dart to yours, and you can make out each individual facet in his silver irises. Parker. It's like his voice has even taken on a new tone. Richer, deeper, more melodic, more desiring. Or maybe it's just that your temporary vampire powers are finally making it possible to hear the depth of desire that's always been there. I'm gonna kiss you. You hear the ever-quickening beating of his heart. See the tip of his tongue trace his bottom lip, and then you can't hold back anymore. You pull his face towards yours, crashing your lips against his and letting out a gasp at the intensity of that feeling that flows through you. When he kisses back, it's as if neither of you can hold back a moment longer. Your mouth opens to his, and the feeling of his tongue against yours makes your knees go weak. Parker. You break apart for air and realize that while you kiss, the blood that had been on your lips transferred to his. Oh, sorry, but you cut yourself off. He reaches out, clearing the corner of your mouth with his thumb. Your breath catches all over again. Ahem. Yeah, Cass. Yeah. It was a little bit more intimate than yours, but you know. You jump as she aggressively clears her throat behind you. Yeah, still here. You'll get over it. You leap away from him, hearing the camp Gabriel and Cass had been talking about, starting as whispers, the unfamiliar voices gradually coming into clarity. Think he'll reward us tonight? I don't see how he couldn't with what we pulled off. That bloodbath's gonna send all the Crimson Beach into a frenzy. Everything around you is a sharp focus, from the chill of the winter night against your skin to the sight of an owl taking off, the flapping of its wings seeming to be in slow motion, and you know, I'm ready to go. The three of you make your way through the forest, your vampire boost helping you keep up with both of them and their incredible speed. Eventually, you arrive at the edge of a steep cliff Peering into the valley below, you make out the enemy's camp, revealed by the moonlight, and have to stifle a gasp. What's going on? With your enhanced vision, you see the camp in such detail it may as well be in broad daylight. More than a dozen vampires sit in a ring in complete silence, staring overtly up at. He's incredibly handsome, and even at this distance, you feel the power radiating off of him. Every vampire in the circle stares at him rapturously. He's obviously their leader. Cass, do you recognize him? No, but forget that for a second. What the hell is he doing? As you watch, he reaches for one of the seated vampires, grasping him by the chin and guiding him to his feet. I'm so pleased with what my pets have accomplished so far, and that I have decided to make another. You will do just fine, Anton. Thank you, Supreme One. I am not worthy. Thank you, thank you. The leader tilts his servant's head back and sinks his fangs into Anton's neck. Oh! What the... Vampire's cries of pain bounce off the walls of the cliff. Oh! But he doesn't struggle. In fact, he clings to the leader tighter, so welcoming the pain and whatever else comes with it. This doesn't make sense. Vampire blood is poison other vampires. Just a drop or two is enough to make you sick. With the amount he's drinking right now, he should be a corpse. He should be dead? What if he isn't a normal vampire? Cass, you said vampires who attacked your hunting party were stronger than anything you'd ever faced before. What if that's because you hadn't faced anything like it before? Because this guy and his lackeys are something even stronger. I'll tell you wrong about that, new girl. We don't need the odds stacked against us any more than they already are. The only other explanation would be that he's injecting vampire venom. But there's no point if the person's already been turned. This has to be some sort of strange lost ritual. The only question is, what's its purpose? A chill runs through you knowing nothing good can come from this. As the vampire leader pulls back, you notice a pendant swinging from around his neck. It must mean something. Yes, from ancient times, it's a sigil. Hang on, I recognize that. That's the rune that was drawn in the blood at the ritual circle. You're right. We have to ask about it when we get back at the Nexus. One of the elders might know if it's a Coven's insignia. Shame, we can't just rip it off the pretty boy's neck. Yeah, no, he's too powerful and fast for that. Suddenly the vampire who was bitten doubles over. Oh, I feel... Embrace it, my little servant. This is what true power feels like. The servant tosses his head back, crying out in pain with his face directly in the moonlight. You can see his features shifting, transforming into something inhuman. Oh! Yeah, no, you're not pretty. You are ugly. Yep, I'll have to kill you. The thing lets out a shrieking cry, its transformation complete. Its hands are stretched into leathery wings, tipped by lethal claws, while its gnashing teeth are longer and sharper than any vampire fangs you've ever seen before. Holy crap, what is that? I don't know. I've never seen anything like that. I've never even read about anything like that. That's it. That's what attacked our hunting party. Tell me, my pet, how do you feel? Your blood chills as a warped, raspy voice emanates from the monster's mouth in reply. This is incredible. Thank you for this blessing, O Supreme One. Vampires sitting in the circle clamber to the feet, forming an unruly line, jostling for a chance to be bitten. I'm next. No, like hell, I've earned this. They want this? He's gonna make a whole army. How many of those do you think he's already made? How many could be in the woods? You look over your shoulder, neck prickling, but the trees behind you are still and silent. If there were any nearby, we'd already be toast. They must be out doing more of this guy's errands. A thought strikes you as you see the figures below pushing and shoving. The activity in the camp concentrated in that one location. They're completely distracted. This is the perfect chance, maybe our only chance, to sneak down there and find out what they're planning. And if more of those freaky mutant vamps are hanging around... You're surprised from the hesitation that comes from Cass, and you realize it's that she's worried about herself. It's you she's worried about, not herself. That's exactly what I just drank vampire blood for, right? Like, the time to act is now. While I stuck out these powers, nobody said saving our town was going to be easy. This is our best opportunity to find out exactly what we're up against. It's a risk, but so is going into this battle blind. If you're sure about this, Parker, then we'll go with you. Diamond choice. We need this intel. Gabriel nods, determined. Stealth mode it is then. Let's go spy on some mutant killers. Quiet and carefully, the three of you make your way down the cliffside, aiming for the back of the camp. Even through the darkness, you're clearly able to see Gabe and Cass running ahead of you, and with the barest of efforts, you speed past them. Keep up, slowpokes. You're a natural at those. Told you she could handle it. Oh, I can do more than handle it. Have to race both of you. Unless you don't think you can beat me. Gabe and Cass share a look before raising their eyebrows at you. New girl, I've been a vampire for decades. You really think your 10 minutes of experience shit scares me? Well, no. But maybe it scares Gabe. Say that again once you've caught up. He speeds past you, Cass right on his heels, leaving you in the dust. Hey. Laugh building up in your lungs, you take off after them, tearing through the forest at an unnatural pace, your steps virtually silent. With a burst of energy, you catch up to them, and for a moment, you're neck and neck before you put on another burst of speed. At the bottom of the hill, you turn to both of them, arms crossed smugly. I win. Psst, I'll let you. Gabe jams a shoulder in hers. Did not. The three of you pull to a stop at the edge of the camp, lurking in the shadows to remain unseen. Right away, your hypersensitive hearing hones in on a large tent deep in the camp, easily making out the conversation inside. The town is built around an ancient red beech tree. It must be what channels the locals' coven line energy. Just a few miles due south or west is their headquarters. They call it the Necklace. We've got maps and schematics of that location, as well as we'll know how to infiltrate it when the time comes. And you're sure the source is good? The best. They know the ins and outs of Crimson Beach, about our loyalty to the Creator. I don't doubt they're telling us the truth. You, Cass, and Gabe exchange a look. A traitor in Crimson Beach? Who do you think it is? Hard to say. Any vampire from either coven would know that information. So there's no way to tell? It doesn't matter who it is. I'm gonna kill them. The snitch, monsters, all of them. I'm gonna rip their freaking heads off so they can so much as look at the Nexus. As her voice gets louder, you hear the vampires in the tent pause, their ears no doubt straining to pick up every word. Gabe grabs Cass, backing away as quickly as possible. Hey, this is a stealth mission, remember? We can't go in guns blazing. Cass jerks her shoulder back, shaking him off. Tell me that again after they kill your coven mates right in front of you. Without waiting for a response, she bolts forward towards the tent, you and Gabe hot on her heels. Stop! Cass, I know you want them to pay, and they will, but now isn't the moment. You don't know what you're asking me to do, Parker. I know your coven mates wouldn't want you to throw your life away. Neither do I. Please, for me. He lays a hand lightly on her arm, giving it a gentle squeeze, and she exhales sharply. Fine. Let's just keep moving before I change my mind. She starts to move away from the tent, but Gabe grabs her shoulder, stopping her in her tracks. Incoming! You hear them before you look up. Smell them even. A surge of adrenaline hits the air as the two shadowy figures inside the tent rush to the zippered flap. Duck inside of a tent. Hide in plain sight. I'm gonna duck inside of a tent. Thinking on your feet, you grab both of them, aiming for the tent to row over. You push your way inside just as the vampires emerge. They can't have gone far. Then let's find them. Huh, so they heard you guys, and now everybody knows we're here. Dummies! Huddled together, the three of you listen until their footsteps fade into the distance. Cass, remind me to never hide for my life with you again. Funny, I don't remember asking you to do this. Shh! Immediately, they quiet down as voices outside get gradually louder. You chance a quick peek. It's a good thing we don't sack towns every day. You're telling me I'm so stuffed I can barely walk. Oh my god, you're now a vampire security guard. Listen, you're very loyal to the security, but, you know, do you ever, like, I don't know, do anything other than be an evil ass? Stuffed? Tell me we're not too late. You share a look with Cass and Gabe as their expressions make it clear that you're all thinking the same thing. They never saw it coming. If I'd known it was this easy, I'd have killed the Flagstone Cove vampires decades ago. They didn't stand a chance, but hey, more humans for us, right? They both begin to chuckle, the sound of it fading as they move away. You feel sick to your stomach, their words ringing in your ears. Quietly, you sneak out of the tent, your head spinning. Flagstone Cove. Why does that name sound familiar? Because it was talked about like 2 chapters ago. It's a town not too far from here. The vampires from the fighting ring were there. They must have gone after their landline first. And killed everyone there in the process. We can't let them do that to Crimson Beach. Let's find out what we can and get back to warn the others. You inch as close as you dare to the ritual you saw earlier before ducking behind a small tent and peering around the sides. Using your enhanced sight, you're able to spot a couple of the bitten, mutated vampires sitting in the circle, and their voices ring out loud and clear. I have never felt this powerful in all of my existence. My sight is so clear, I can hear for miles. Well, you know, if you weren't yammering and full of yourself, you would have heard us. The Supreme One promised that enhanced powers would be worth every second of pain. Cass's brow furrows in confusion. You turn to Gabe to whisper breathlessly. Enhanced powers? Does that mean they can hear us right now? As if to answer your question, one of the mutated vampires jumps to its feet, sniffing the air. Gradually turns in your direction. Run! Cass reaches for you as she breaks into a sprint heading to your left, while on your right, Gabe beckons for you to come with him. I'm gonna follow him because, you know, she's better on her own in things like this. You bolt after Gabe and he positions you ahead of him, placing his body between you and the threat. Go, I've got your back. As Cash dashes out in one direction, you and Gabe run in the other. And though you're moving at dizzying speeds through a camp of enemy vampires, you can't help but feel safe and protected. When the 3 of you have made it safely back up the cliff, you turn to Cass and Gabe, eyes wide. You snuck into the camp and learned vital information. I mean, not really. All we learned is that they took out the Flagstone Cove. Am I crazy, or did I hear that thing say they enhanced powers? Makes sense why they were able to run through my hunting party so quickly. The ritual we saw must allow that vampire to supercharge them with its venom. They're the ultimate weapons. And they're coming straight for Crimson Beach. You turn to look out over the cliff, watching as a newly turned creature squeals in excitement at its newfound power. If we're gonna stand a fighting chance, then we need to warn everyone now. But before you can turn to leave, Gabe stiffens beside you with a gasp. No, it can't be. Your stomach drops when you see what he spotted. The next vampire that walks up to this be bitten isn't all too familiar, and as their words reach you, or dawns on you. I've been waiting for this moment. Supreme One. Shiloh. Shiloh's a traitor, but he was so nice to me. He's a Clement. This can't be. Are there other traitors? No, I don't see anyone else from the covens. Just Shiloh. The sicko turned on his coven after hundreds of years with a smile on his face. In her fury, she storms away from the cliffside and into the tree line. You and Gabe quickly follow after her. I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. The traitor was a Clement all along. Oh, don't start this bullshit again. And all the while, us Venedies have put up with the scrutiny, threats, and even your ridiculous patrols, all for nothing. The glare she pins on Gabe sends a chill down your spine. This is all the proof I need. You can never, never trust a Clement. Hey, that's not fair. That's what Shiloh's doing, and Shiloh's alone. I can't believe you make excuses. He killed Venedies, killed Crimson Beach vampires. You can't blame an entirety of people for one person. Shut up. I'm serious. I get so livid at this crap. And Clementa was killed too. You saw the toxicology report as well as I did. Oh, my bad. It's just the Venedize and the Clements killing Clems and Beach vampires indiscriminately. That's just so much better. Their silver eyes flash, bodies tense to strike, nothing but pure loathing in their gazes. Oh my god, they're gonna tear each other apart. Guys, stop. We're on the same side. Remember that we're trying to do. We have to save Crimson Beach, but we can only do it if we're united. It's like they don't even hear you, and they're about to jump in, and you're about to jump in between them, and your sensory talisman burns on your wrist. Ouch. Oh no. You know exactly what that burning means, and Gabe and Cass realize a moment later, suddenly ceasing their fight to realize you've been surrounded. Well now, what do we have here? A little group of vampire spies by the looks of it. Word to the wise, kids. Part of being a spy is knowing when to keep quiet. Oh my god, no shit. Can I join you guys? Good thing we know how to shut you up. Even as your heart races, you take in your odds. There are 3 of them. 3 of you. None of them have been transformed into an awful mutant you saw before. I can feel the vampire blood in me. We have a chance to get out of this. But then a familiar voice comes out of the tree line, making your blood run cold. Enough talk. The creator will want to deal with these intruders himself. Bring them back to the base. The vampires move aside as Shiloh steps out of among them, a smirk spreading across his face. Why, if it isn't Gabriel, Cass, and Parker? How's it going, guys? You'll pay for this, Shiloh. They lunge towards him, but the enemy vampires close ranks in front of him, fangs bared. So much for catching up, then. Grab them. His eyes meet yours, lips twisting into a cruelly amused smile. Oh, and don't forget about the human. Shiloh's vampires move in a flash, and even before you have time to blink, all 3 enemies are converging on you. Cass and Gabe each engage one, leaving the third to stalk closer, lunging at you with her fangs bared. I have to act fast. I'll use my Silver Ward Talisman, dive between her legs, dodge and counter-strike. I mean, technically we do Silver Ward Talisman. I mean, we got it for a reason, right? So use it. Quickly, you raise your wrist and your fingers scrambling for your Silver Ward Talisman. If this is enough to scare Astoria, I think it's time we see what this baby can do. You activate the talisman and a cloud of silver powder shoots out and particles sparkling in the moonlight as it coats her attacker's skin. Immediately, she drops to the ground like a stone, writhing in pain as the silver burns on contact. Holy. This human's got some tricks up her sleeve. And in a way, we've concealed that we still have vampire blood on us. You look over at Cass and Gabe and find them working together to fight back one of the attackers. The second rises from where he'd fallen and grabs a branch, aiming for the back of Gabe's head. Gabe, watch out! But before he can even turn around, the attacker falls. Get away from him. Cass tosses the vampire through the woods, sending him face first into a trunk of a tree. As the vampire staggers to his feet, obviously dazed, Shiloh glares at his minions. Separate the vampires and take them down. Remaining scouts circle Gabe and Cass, but instead of splitting off in different directions and taking their chances, the 2 of them come back to back, preparing for the worst. I've got to help out. We've got cause a distraction, take one out with my vampire abilities, use my Sunstrike Talisman. I'm still concealing I have the ability to be a vampire. Cass, Gabriel, take cover. Kinda busy here, new girl. We'll have to time it just right. They bob and weave, carefully positioning the enemy vampires as close to you as they can. Now! As soon as they're out of the way, you lift your wrist and activate your Sunstrike Talisman, releasing a burst of concentrated sunlight right at the enemy vampires. We've now alerted every vampire in all the woods. Shiloh and one of the vampires take shelter, but the lone holdout gets caught in the full glare of 1,000 suns. Ah! As you watch, the bright beam poisons him, sapping him of his energy, and the light peters out. He falls to the ground, dead. Note to self, don't forget to put on sunblock when I use this one. Suddenly, you feel a hand grab you. Guess if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. You try to use your abilities to break free, but he pulls your head to the side, exposing your neck and baring his fangs. I may not be able to drink your blood right now, but I can still rip your throat out. All of you are coming with me now, or the human won't see daybreak. Use your vampire abilities. We literally are on par with this asshole. I don't understand why we are... Okay, just whatever. Well, we paid for nothing. We paid literally for nothing. Alright, we'll come. Just don't hurt her. For your sake. Gabriel, Cass, don't do it. Quiet. Shiloh throws your body to the remaining vampire and gestures for Gabe and Cass to walk past him and towards the camp. As they do, they each meet your gaze, the message clear. I have to find ways to get free so that Cass and Gabriel can take him down. I'll pretend to fall to the ground in tears, use my hatchet, or my poison So much for vampire powers. Reach for the poison talisman on your wrist, the needle extending as you activate it. I only get one shot, better make it count. With a measured swing, you drive the needle deep into the vampire's neck. What? But before he can even get a word out, he drops to the ground dead. Cass pokes the body with her toe. I'm gonna need you to keep that thing far away from me. Second. Well, then don't touch me. You step back, your breathing coming in gasp. Though exhausted, you don't have any major injuries. How are we exhausted? All we've done is stand here and use our wrist. Seriously! You're like One Punch Man, but with like a damn thing on your wrist, you just push a button. Like, you don't even have to punch. Not bad, but we're not done yet. And to make things worse, you find that your vision is becoming less sharp, and the strength coursing through you is draining. Now's not a good time for my vampire abilities to be wearing off, even though we haven't used them at all. Oh my god. I don't know how much longer we can hold out. It's 1 versus 3. But when you look around, the only one remains. Shiloh looks from his fallen comrades to the 3 of you. You all fared better than I expected, especially you, human. His attention zeroes in on you, smugness dripping from his voice. You know, I'm shocked to see you still hanging around these two. After that little gift I left on your bed didn't scare you off. The owl mask, that was you? He chuckles and carries on as though you hadn't interrupted. I was starting to think you'd become a real pain for the Coven. I actually started hoping you would be. You see, the Coven leaders are so focused on you, my associates and I have been able to move around undetected, which is why it's so disappointing that you've become a real pain for me all of a sudden. Oh, I'm bothering you? That's the little thing called karma. When you decide to act like a walking, talking pile of trash, the world pays you back for it. And for the record, you aren't getting away with this. Do you have any idea how funny this is? A human acting like she can save a horde of vampires? Do you think this is a joke? You're the reason my Coven mates are dead. Collateral damage, you're a Venedai. You should understand that sometimes you've got to leave a few bodies in your wake to get things done. Shiloh, tell me there's something else going on. I trusted you. You were like a brother to me. Then you turned on your own Coven and all of Crimson Beach. Why? Shiloh simply smirks, enigmatically, as Gabriel's voice cracks in despair. I wouldn't expect you to understand, even if I explained it to you. Shiloh! You're dead. Crap. Crap baskets. Finally, he realizes how furious he's made them and how much danger that puts him in. Shiloh turns on his heel and makes a break for the camp. Not so fast. You whip out your silver trap talisman, aiming it at Shiloh's, retreating back as you activate it. Who's that Pokemon? It's a Shiloh. Liquid silver spews out and covers him from waist down, immobilizing him. He falls to the ground, letting out a cry of pain as he's burned by the silver that engulfs him. You take your time walking up to him, stopping for a moment above him to watch him thrash in vain against his bonds. I knew I had a good reason to keep this talisman. I didn't know the opportunity would feel this good, though. You little... Hold that thought. Cass and Gabe step up beside you, staring in disgust down at him. Tell me why you did it. He coughs raggedly. But though he glares up at you, it's clear the silver is rapidly sucking the fight out of him. Isn't it obvious? I did what I did in the name of survival. The days of the ley lines are over. The hell are you talking about? This is the dawn of a new era. Vampires will be free to make their own alliances. No more covens, no more borders, no more hiding from humans. Just freedom. You can't blame me for joining the winning side. His gaze passes from the two of them, and he smiles. You two could join it too. All you'd have to do is turn your backs on Crimson Beach. Let's kill him. Cass glares down at him, eyes aflame. You slaughtered my Coven mates. It's only fair that you die screaming too. No, because if you die screaming, he'll alert all the idiots. We can't. What the hell, Adar? You can't still be trying to defend... Never. Not after what he did. But we need to bring him back to Crimson Beach alive, and then we'll have solid proof of who really betrayed the Covens. You're right. With the evidence right in front of them, the Covens will have no choice but to listen to us. We'll stop fighting each other and be able to focus on real priority, preparing for when this creator and his army attacks. Exactly. And besides... He turns to face Cass. That way, the Covens as a whole can have the revenge on him. You know what, Aldahar? You finally come up with a plan I can get behind. Is this supposed to scare me? But, through his bravado, you can see the tense set of his jaw and the wild look in his eyes. Oh, I think it does. What do you say, new girl? Bring him back. Diamond choice. He's coming with us. He isn't our biggest concern. I wonder what that does. Guessing leaving him or killing him. You heard her. Gabe lifts Shiloh off the ground one-handed. Careful to avoid the silver shackling him. We're about to have a little family reunion. I'm shaking. How long? How long have you been working with the enemy? Oh, not that long. Just a few months, maybe. Months? Time flies when you're planning a hostile regime change, I guess. Shiloh. You'll get what's coming in, and I personally can't wait to watch. Oh, such scorn, such anger, you really have been spending too much time around vampires. I'd say not enough, or else she would have snapped your head off 20 minutes ago. You should watch out for Sweet Parker, Eldar. Humanity can be such an easy thing to lose. Yeah, you'd know a thing or two about losing one's humanity, wouldn't you? Gabriel laughs bitterly, shaking his head. He forces himself to meet Shiloh's eyes. There isn't any good left in you at all, is there? Shiloh just raises his eyebrows patronizingly, and Gabe huffs out a sigh, and he turns to Cass. Want to do the honors? I thought you'd never ask. Cass picks up a rock and smashes it against his temple. Gabe lets him go, and he crashes to the ground unconscious. A thick moment of silence follows, and he stares down at his body, still features twisted in pain. I can't believe it. It's right in front of me, and I still can't believe it. Clement betraying the Covens. One of my own friends. I should have noticed. I should have stopped him. Gabriel, you are stopping him. That's what you're doing right now by bringing him back to the Covens so he can't do any more harm. The harm's already been done. He's killed Venedize, he's killed Clements, he's trying to kill every Crimson Beach vampire. Probably all the humans too, if you think about it. Keyword trying. It's not over till it's over. And what you're doing, what we're all doing together, is giving us a fighting chance. Isn't the whole reason we went on this trip? I haven't forgotten your little mission statement before we left the ley lines out on. Cass juts out her jaw, puts her hands on her hips, and gives her best Gabriel impression. We'll protect the Crimson Beach vampires. You know, I haven't changed my mind. It's just some have already died. You can't protect everyone, no matter how badly you want to. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta live with the fact that you failed everyone you care about. You whirl towards her, shocked at the bitterness in her tone. You're about to tell her off for speaking to Gabriel like that, and when you see... It isn't anger in her eyes, it's pain as she stares down at Shiloh's unmoving body. The pain melds with hatred. My coven mates are gone. Why is this asshole still here? And why didn't knocking him out make me feel any better? Cass, you can let yourself grieve. The attack happened yesterday, and you learned about Shiloh less than an hour ago. You're still processing it. It's okay if that hurts. In fact, it should hurt. You lost people you care about. So a giant Kamehameha beam of light just happened in the forest. We're gonna stand here and talk. In the dead of night, no one noticed the bright light. Okay. I don't like hurting. It makes me feel all weak and helpless, and like I can't do anything to avenge him. It means you care enough to avenge him. Her eyes snap to Gabe, who holds her gaze. Use it as fuel to do that. I know I am. Yeah. Understanding passes silently between them before she tears her gaze away. We've hung around here too long anyway. We should take our baggage and go. You reactivate your talisman to retract the silver. It flows off of him like liquid, coming together in a shimmery mass in the air before receding into your bracelet. I've got him. Gabe stares down at Shiloh for one long moment before hefting him up and slinging him over his shoulder. Alright, new girl, the trip's back's gonna be fast. Cass wraps an arm around your waist, hoisting you up on her back, and you cling tight as she sets off. The woods blur around you as they both run at vampire speed. You feel nausea in the pit of your stomach, and you're not sure if it's motion sickness or the worry that's about to come. Please let things be okay back home. You all move quickly through the night, only stopping a couple of times for rest breaks and for Cass and Gabe to switch off carrying you. Why would they switch off? We're literally carrying Shiloh. After several hours, you look out over Gabe's shoulder and notice the first rays of morning starting to peek out over the trees of Crimson Beach. We made it. But your stomach lurches when a searing heat scalds your wrist and you let out a gasp. My sensory talisman, someone knows we're back. Damn. Cass gets to a stop, Shiloh's body flopping over her shoulders, and Gabriel stops beside her, his grip on you tightening. A flash of movement comes from the trees, and suddenly you're surrounded. A Clement elder steps forward, fangs bared, prepared to strike. Indians here, traitors. No, it doesn't. Shut up. Leave us alone. Without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down the description below. There are plenty of links and plenty of ways for you to support the channel. Like I said, like and share the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And, you know, hey, if you're not done there, share the video, share the channel to many other people, and there's links down in the description for many ways to support this channel. So, without further ado, interesting chapter. Didn't find out much. If you remember chapter 1, right, there was a little inkling of what was going on, and then everybody quickly forgot about that, I'm guessing. But at least we have a little bit more information, right? It's really too bad, and I'm gonna say this. It's really too bad Bloodbound ended, right? Imagine for a moment, if you will. I mean, we've dealt with vampires, right? We've dealt with people who were trying to take over New York, right? People who were trying to do far more than that, like the creator themselves of vampires, right? So something tells me, lore-wise, I'm sure there's multiple different creators. I guess it depends on who you, you know, follow. Much like many other things in this world. So, this is the creator, I'm guessing, of these monstrosities, and, you know, going beyond that, I don't know. I guess we'll find out more in the coming chapters, but it's really too bad we couldn't have a crossover, you know? Maybe get on the phone with Adrian and Camila and, like, have a conversation, or a diamond choice where you would run into them, you know? You wouldn't need to see your old MC. Maybe they were just visiting for a quick moment and help you, or whatnot, you know, right? Like DC and Marvel and everything else, they do crossovers and stuff all the time. And it's just kind of sad that, you know, Pixelberry did that for a quick second, and people were all happy about it, and then they'd never do it ever again. Again, it's kind of sad. But without further ado, thanks for watching. Love your beautiful faces. Catch y'all later. Peace out.